Hi, I'm Kevin and welcome to Bike Rider TV. Today we're going to do a bit of a recap on our long-term test unit, Honda's VFR1200F. Now the VFR has been around for about a year. It's an all-new model. It caused a lot of hype when it was first released with its 76 degree 1200cc V4 engine. Made it to a shaft drive. It kind of fills the gap between their VT1300, which is their tourer, and the sports bikes. And this is the best of both worlds. Now this bike, as you see it now, has got 20,000 kilometers on the clock. So we've done some thorough testing. We've had it on long tours, trips, occasional fang session. It's a very, very capable all-round motorcycle. It's smooth, it's efficient, it swallows up miles like there's no tomorrow. It really is the consummate fast tourer. Now as it comes out of the box, it is a nice motorcycle, but we had the privilege of being able to raid Honda's little box of goodies, and we put a screen extender on it. The standard one's fine for me at 1.79 meters or 5'11" in the old money, but for tall streaks like Fraser, we need a little bit more height, so we added to it. It is a $550 extension, it's adjustable, but it does make the difference if you're a tall rider because this doesn't have an electronically adjustable screen as standard. Another nice little bit we added are these little deflectors. What they do is deflect the wind around your handlebars, so when you're riding in the rain, your fingers don't get the driving rain. It really does make a difference to how long the water will stay out of your gloves for. Brilliant. It's about another $550 again, well worth doing if you ride all year round. While we're at Honda HQ, we rated them of their 31 litre top box. It's got 26 litre panniers. The top box is going to set you back $1,200 odd plus GST and about $2,300 for the panniers. It is quite a lot of money, but it does make it a consummate tourer. They're easily detachable, they carry like suitcases, and they do not leak. Now despite this bike having done 20,000 kilometers, the seat is totally unmarked. It's nicely sculpted, it's very nicely finished. The pillions love it because it's got this little piece here which stops them riding forward all the time. Proper grab rails, a backrest if you go for the luggage. It's designed to keep the person on the back happy, which is always a good thing if you're the rider on the front. Now the VFR has an all-new shaft drive unit which is nice and clean, it's maintenance free. To show you it, easy as that. It's got a single-sided swing arm which looks mint. The nice thing about the shaft drive is you get up in the morning, you head off, you ride all day, you're not adjusting chains, you're not throwing oil everywhere. It's a nice unit. As an all-new model, the VFR 1200 came out with some nice new features. Some of them polarised opinions. The look is kind of unique, but there's no denying that this multi-level fairing does work. It's designed to pull heat away from the engine, but also deflect it away from the rider. It's one of those niceties that really makes a difference when you're clocking up the big miles. Now if you happen to see one of these coming towards you, there's absolutely no mistaking what it is. It's got a frontal look like no other motorcycle, and that's probably a neat thing nowadays with a lot of the generic look coming in. It's one of those things, at first I was a little bit skeptical about it, going, not sure if I like that. Some of the other guys in the office just loved it. I've got used to it. It's just that it was so different, and maybe that's a good thing. They broke new ground. It's quite a brave new model. It's $23,995, which coincidentally is nearly $6,000 less than it was 12 months ago. It's a very competitive package. It's not your full tourer, it's not your full sports bike, it kind of bridges the gap. There's a couple of little things that I'd like to see on it, like your fuel consumption, your remaining range, It's got a fairly basic instrument display. That in itself is not a bad thing, but the VFR1200, which has been around for donkey's years, has a 22 litre tank. This is the 1200 and it's got an 18.5 litre tank, so the range is about 230 odd Ks before it starts flashing at you saying hunt up a servo. And that I think is a little bit tight in the touring market, but then again, it just takes a little bit of forethought. So, what does your $23,995 get you? It gets you a 267 kilo, that's ringing wet, motorcycle with an 810mm seat height, so it's suitable for pretty much anybody. It feels a lot less than that when you're wheeling it around. It's quite well balanced. You get yourself something that's fun enough to go sports riding, you could actually take it to the track and realistically it's not going to embarrass itself. Fabulous brakes, does strong ABS and it's linked front to back. You get good weather protection, a nice fairing, it's well designed, works a treat. Fuel range, not at strong point, but it's no worse than the average. Accommodation, this is very much the top end seat. Engine, this thing's an absolute pearl. You get enough storage, should you go for the touring option, to store everything you possibly need, and if you stop and you haven't got it full, that is not a small helmet. That's mine, it's a large, and it fits in either side. Build quality is something that Honda have never really struggled with, but I have to say that this is possibly one of the best finished motorcycles that they've put out so far.